Good morning from my behalf also. So I'm, as Ulla said, that today is about the exposure. So I'm the head of this, the team 1, which is about the nanomaterials and exposure. And but it's not me who is doing the work. So it's divided in 4 work packages. So we have first 2 PhD projects, and then 2 projects which are run by the senior scientist and the postdoc. 1 postdoc. So the first project is the modeling project, which is supervised by me, and then we have a collaboration with the Copenhagen University, and then our other collaborator is from Finland, from the Tampere Technical University, and this is also thought about it because this is it works really well with some of our EU projects. So we have a synergy there, so we can use and then the other one is the other PhD project, which is supervised by Kirsten and me, and then we have a collaboration from the TTU Nanotech, and that is more like a chemical characterization and more chemical properties, which is an aiming in the end for the SOPs and how to sample, but I will go there a bit more later. And then is the workplace measurements. And as the name says, the idea is to do workplace measurements. So we are always welcoming and inviting companies who would like to have the exposure assessment done in their factories, and we are always interested to hear what you have and what could be the problem, or just for fun to see what is out there. And then the last work package is the physical chemical characterization. It's more Kirsten Kling is coordinating all the instruments what is in that department, microscopes and some of the chemical analysis things. So I was thinking, because I will have 3 brilliant presentations after this, so I was trying to demonstrate what this is all about. So what we do is basically we do measurements, and you have I don't know, no, it doesn't matter. And then we have when we do measurements, we go outside. There is always environmental factors, and what we do is we try to simulate. We come home and we try to simulate, or we have this kind of a chamber measurements. But I just put this to demonstrate how the reality looks like. So this is what we do when we go in the chamber measurements. We have a simple chamber. We have a known measurement points. We have a known flows. We have known geometries, and everything is well known. But when you go in for example, in this kind of factory settings, then you have all kind of unknown things, and you can't define things exactly always. So the first thing is that it's a challenge to kind of see it, but I mean things don't have to be perfect. And then there's a lot of things that you don't see. I mean when you are here, then if you are there in winter time, you are summertime, springtime, then also the environment is changing. The traffic density is changing, the weather is changing, and that will change the temperature, relative humidity, and that will most probably change the exposure. But then again, doesn't really matter. So that is one thing we need to find out. And therefore, we have the idea is to develop measurement methods. So when we do measurements for example, in the different seasons, we would know what to expect and what are the factors which are influencing it, and SOPs. And we're going to hear a bit more in the next presentation about the chemical challenge. The challenges in the chemical composition, what can it cause, and how you store and how you do the measurements. That is as important as the analysis itself. And there we go. So this is the program. So as I said, so the PhD student Anders Bergström is going to start. And he's going to tell us about more like a microscope sampling and SOPs and the methods to help make our life easier. And then Alexandra is continuing, and he's going to give us a nice presentation about the principles of modeling and demonstrate what you get out of the modeling and how the simple models could look like. And then we have a little bit more senior member of the community, postdoc Joonas Koivisto from Finland. So he's gonna take us in the field and show us the simple, we would say like a second tier exposure measurements and a little bit concentration measurements in the field. Okay, thank you.